Okay, hi, welcome back to One Humble Knot. Today we are going to do some baby bloomers. Again, we're going to chain 11. Eight, 9, 10, 11. Yep, chain 11. And then instead of going in this first one here, we go in this second one. And we do a double crochet for the UK or a single crochet for the US. And we do that all the way down. Chain 1, and then we're going to do single crochet, or sorry, double crochet for the UK. Let's keep this all in UK, but we're just going in to the back stitch here. So just into the back stitch. So we got to that end. Oh, a bit painful. That's all right. Slip stitch, back down the other way again. So you should be doing 10 along, and once again, we're just in the back stitch. Sometimes I find once you get a few rows in, it just gets a little bit easier. But I will be back in a bit with how many rows to do. Hopefully I've popped it up on the screen, but you want it to be about 32 centimeters long once it's stretched. So remember, this is the waistband. We're creating ribbing to get some stretch to it. Okay, so your band should look now something like this. I did a total of 49 rows. So the great thing is it is stretchy. Make sure that you are doing your chain at each end. That will help keep the edges somewhat straight. Obviously this one looks a bit shorter, so I might have, you can kind of see I probably just lost a stitch here. So it's not too bad. From here, you can, oh, it's so tiny. You can kind of measure out, you know, the size. You can go, yeah, that's about the baby size that you're wanting. And this is just for around their waist. So remember, it always looks so tiny. This is for one of my friends, so I don't really know baby sizes. We're just guessing here. So from here, all you will be doing, super nice and easy, we're just going to be doing a slip stitch along. So yeah, we're just going to slip stitch along, nice and easy. Oh, I think my partner's home. Okay, so now you've made your waistband. We're not cutting any of this. This is a big thing. From here, as you can tell, my flash is off. Should probably put my phone on charge, but here we are. So we're chain 1. You should have your tail as well, so we're going to crochet that in. Now we want to make sure that we're not allowing this to like be too tight, because this needs to get over and stretch as much as like the baby's bum and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to crochet right into here. Oh, of course that timer goes off. One moment. Sorry. So we did 1 crochet in here, and then you have your next row right here. So do double in there and do a second double. And then your next row, we do another 2 as well, and another 2. So for each row, we're doing 2 crochets in each. So you'll have, so I said I did 49 rows. So we should have a total of 98 stitches all the way around. Okay, so now you'll be back at the start. I know it's probably flaring out a bit, but it's all a part of the process, because, you know, that's how you make a waistband. It normally comes in a bit. So we're back at the start. There's going to be this odd little gap here. That's just because that's where we slip stitch it together. And you're wanting to go in your first chain and slip stitch through. Sorry if that lost a bit of focus. Seems to be the theme. Still trying to figure it out. So from here we're going to chain 2, and then we are going to half treble crochet for UK, half double for US, and we're going to do that all the way around. Ooh. And we're going to do that for so this is row 1, this is row 2, so we're going to do it till we get to row 20. So we're going to go all the way around, and each time you get back to the start, chain 2, and just make sure, like this one, we're going in the back stitch here. So keep going in the back stitch, go all the way around, and repeat doing this exact thing for another 19 rows. You have a total of 20 rows. Okay, so now we've done a total of 19 rows from our initial one. So we did our ribbing, joined it together, we did 1 row and then an additional 19 rows. Now, if you can see here, if it picks up on the video, this part looks a little bit different to this part. Basically, I went half the way and I was just kind of playing around with the stitch, and I know I shouldn't do this, but soon enough you'll get used to me just making it up as I go. I did 1 stitch on the back and 1 stitch on the front. So I alternated rows going on this side to that side and back and forth each row. And then I found out that was taking me too long. So from this point, I just crocheted on the back row. So if you're wanting something like this look, you go back, front, or you're just happy with this look, then just stay on the back. Now, we are going to be doing the legs. So this will be your first leg. For your second leg, you just repeat it. This way that you're going to do this is you'll fold this in half and you just go halfway. So if I have, it's good to count your stitches to see where you're at. Chain 2, and then we're just going to stitch and our back stitch. So 1, oh. And we're continuing with our half trebles until you get halfway around. Now we fold this in half, and we're actually just going to slip stitch into this chain here. So see if I can get that a bit closer. So we've got our chain. I'm going to slip stitch right into there. From here, you're going to chain 2, and we're just going to crochet all around this leg. So chain 2, and we just start going. We're just going to keep doing with our half double crochet until we get back around to the start. The start, we're just going to 1, 2, chain, slip stitch into our chain 2, like so. And then with our new thread, we're going to start a whole new chain stitch. We'll pull that through. We're just going to crochet them in nice and tight together. And then chain 2. And then we're going to crochet in these stitches in with our half treble like we've been doing, and we're going to do the same as our previous row, so just go around as before. Okay, once again we're back at the start. You can see that the inside is starting to, take shape and form. Once again, we'll do a slip stitch. Hi, Luna. We'll do a slip stitch to finish up the row. Then we're going to chain 2. Sorry, I just paused it while Luna was coming by. So then we chain 2. Now we're going to start doing the ribbing on the leg. So if you like this look of it just being open, you can definitely leave it like that. It's definitely really cute. What we're doing, we're going to do a double crochet, and you go 1 in the back, and then your next one is in the front loop. Oh, there we go. And then our next one's in the back loop, and then front loop. We're going to do this. We're just doing a double. I always find it hard changing from the stitch I was doing to a new one when you've done so many. So I'm going to try and show it again from this perspective. So that was in the back loop, and then the front loop. Back loop, front loop. Now you're going to do this for the next 2 rows. So you'll do this all the way around, do a slip stitch, and then you'll chain 2 and do a second row of this. You want to make sure that whatever you started on, so we started on back loop, if you're following along, that you want to make sure when you get back to the start again, you start on back loop. Even if you finish on back loop, you want to make sure whatever you're starting with is the same. It's okay if it doubles up. I think I've done my ribbing wrong, if I'm completely honest. It has created a little bit of ribbing, but not as much as what I'm wanting. Now it's time to cut this guy. Oh, that broke so easy. That makes me so happy. I'm gonna just, sorry, right now as I'm filming this, it's 33 degrees outside, so it's sweltering hot. My hands are sweaty, my nails, there is dirt underneath them because I've been gardening today. It's a whole thing. Anyways, we'll come back once we've done the other leg. So you would have done your other leg on the shorts. They look kind of long, not going to lie, but we're actually going to be putting in some elastic at the waistband with our normal, as if we're going to start any crochet. I've left a long tail as well because we're going to try and get this guy in, just because this particular elastic is not the best at tying off. But we go into this first one here, then we go to the next, and we're just doing double crochets along. Very nice and easy. The key is we are wanting to just stay on one side, so you don't want to go all the way through. That's why we're finding the ribbing that's forward and a little bit of yarn. So this one's up to your own discretion. You do not have to add this in any way or form if you don't want to. So now we're back at the start. You're wanting to tie this off. Now if you've got this elastic, it is honestly not the best. So I'm tying this a nice handful of times, and I'm probably going to, you got these two ends here. This is how you tie to reinforce. And you can make your elastic as tight or as loose as you like. Mine is a little bit on the tighter side, but it should loosen up. You just leave these chains a little bit looser between, and that will help them stretch out more and more. Okay, and we flip it the right way around. And that's what our little waistband looks like. Okay, so now we've finished the little baby bloomers off. I've turned up my bottom leg bits just because I think you can have them long or turn them up, but the way I am going to give it to my friend is, it's hard to turn up with one hand, turned up. I think it looks quite cute as it is. Obviously with the elastic it may seem tight right now, but as a baby grows you can always undo the elastic and this will stretch out more. So that's your other option, I think, of adding in some easy cuttable elastic and things like that. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.